greatest adventure is what lies ahead. Today and tomorrow are yet to be said.
Hello everyone, No One of Consequence here, back again with a new video. This is episode 39 in a series which recounts my ongoing Dungeons & Dragons campaign, which is now in its 9th year. If this is your first visit to my channel, you might want to go back and start with part 1 of this series so that everything will make more sense. So first of all, as always, in this video, I will be revealing details found in this adventure module. And once again, as a reminder, this is the current makeup of the adventuring party. Where we left off last time, the characters had returned back to their hideout cave after their first foray into the Glacial Rift, so they'd gone back to spend the rest of the night to rest and recover spells. So the next morning, the characters returned back to the Glacial Rift, and they returned to a cave entrance that they had found on the day before, but which was blocked by a large boulder. So, pushing that boulder aside, they entered the space and were immediately attacked by a group of ice toads. These monsters, one of the attacks that they have, they can radiate a blast of cold that's so intense that it causes damage to warm-blooded creatures. During the battle, Obrak rolled a fumble and accidentally hit Varys with his weapon. You can see that in the chat window there. These ice toads huddled together, and all of them radiating cold at once can potentially inflict a lot of damage. In fact, as you can see here, the air surrounding them literally turned blue from the intense cold. But finally, the ice toads were defeated, and the characters claimed their treasure. The only thing of value that they had was a vaguely toad-shaped gemstone, which Garrett said appeared to be of considerable value. So moving on to another ice cave that the characters entered, it seemed to be abandoned, but etched on the floor right there, pointed out by the arrow, was a rune, which Garrett's giant speaking intelligent sword told him was some kind of a warning. Beyond the rune, the characters could see scattered bones on the floor. They were covered by what appeared to be some kind of brown dirt-like substance. So Varys, he ignored the warning rune and moved up. The dirt-like stuff turned out to be brown mold, which is attracted to heat and instantly grows whenever it's exposed to heat. And so Varys was carrying his flaming sword and using it like a torch, and this caused the mold to literally explode forward, covering both him and Obrak. The mold absorbs body heat and inflicts damage on the victim while doing so. And in here, Varys dropped to 0 hit points from the initial damage, and Obrak was able to run back out some distance before he succumbed to the damage as well. So they had pulled Obrak out and managed to revive him, but Varys was still lying fairly well into that passageway, so Garrett ended up using his rope and grappling hook to try and drag Varys' body out of the mold. And he was trying to be careful to just snare Varys by his clothes and not accidentally impale him with that grappling hook. So they finally got Varys dragged out of the mold, and then Niob used her spells to bring him back. And although Varys, he was now out of the brown mold, but his flaming sword, although it had gone out when he dropped it, it was still lying deeper down into that passageway where he had dropped it. And he really wanted his sword back, so he decided to use Garrett's grappling hook to try and retrieve it. But unfortunately, once again, Varys got too close, and the brown mold was attracted to his body heat, and again it exploded forward, covering him. And this time, because he was so low on hit points, the damage killed Varys again. So, once again, they managed to drag Varys' body out of the mold, and this time they used one of the holiday reward items that they had received to bring Varys back. And at this point, Varys decided he'd had enough of the place and said to just leave his sword where it was. But the party did agree to return and try again to retrieve the sword at a later time. So since they had now had explored all the ice caves, the characters next decided to descend down to the floor of the glacial rift. No sooner did they set foot there when they were attacked by a pack of winter wolves, which so far had been concealed in the snow. So in addition to a bite attack, winter wolves can also breathe a small cone of frost on their opponents. You can see that happening to several of the characters here. And here's another screenshot of the battle. And eventually, the wolves were defeated, but not before they had inflicted a significant amount of damage on the characters, which you can see on their health bars here. So next, the characters went to explore the large mound of snow and ice at the southern end of the glacial rift, which they had seen from above the day before, and that's what this screenshot is. It was one from the previous day where they were standing on a ledge and looking down into the rift. You could see this large pile of snow and ice with what appeared to be an entrance. So as the party approached the mound, a Remoraz launched itself from the entrance and began attacking. And what this thing would do, it would strike at one of the characters and then burrow down into the ice. And then soon it would resurface and attack again from another location. The monster was dangerous, as you can see by the character's health bars in this screenshot. But they were also managing to inflict damage on the monster, and eventually it burrowed back down into the ice and did not resurface. So Varys and Obrak quickly entered and explored the creature's lair, which is that mound of ice and snow. And they did find a couple of items that looked like they might be of a magical nature, so they took those, and but everybody wanted to get out of here in case that thing came back. So moving back across the glacial rift floor, Gorb was suddenly attacked by a white ooze. You can see that at the top of this screenshot. And the monster was probably attracted by all the activity with the Remoraz, and had crept up while concealed by the blowing snow. So both Gorb and Garrett tried attacking the thing with their swords, but all that did was cause the creature to split off smaller versions of itself, which you can see there. And what followed was several rounds of the characters trying various means of defeating this monster, but nothing seemed to really work. At one point they tried throwing flasks of oil at it, but it would always move off before anyone got a chance to actually ignite the oil. And it doesn't move very fast, so the characters were able to avoid the oozes, but it just kept following them around. It would not give up. And so finally, just getting tired of the whole thing, everyone backed off, and Thorol cast a fireball at the users, and that took care of that problem. So although they were by now somewhat damaged and depleted of spells, they decided to press on and enter the lower level of the Glacial Rift, which they had discovered on the previous day, but up to this point had not explored. So this area is below the glacial ice and is dug into the underlying bedrock. And so, since sunlight can't filter down to this area, they had to break out the torches once again. So the characters first entered a large open cavern, the walls of which were decorated with bas-relief carvings, which depicted frost giants performing various heroic deeds in battle. And following along the wall, the character soon found a large boulder blocking a tunnel entrance, but they decided to see what else they could find before attempting to enter whatever space that boulder was blocking. So, continuing further south, the characters found an area where a partial cave-in had occurred sometime in the past, killing some frost giants. You can see those giant-sized skeletons lying on the ground. While the characters were searching this area, Thorol was suddenly attacked by a ice toad, which appeared from a nearby hiding spot. And soon more of the ice toads appeared, and once again they began using their cold radiating attack against the characters. And here's just another screenshot of that battle. And yet another one. And eventually, though, the ice toads were defeated, and Thorol scooped up some loose coins that were lying around in the dirt here. And the characters left this area. And finding no other places to explore, the characters returned back to that boulder block tunnel. And working together, they managed to push it aside, and it revealed a passageway beyond. Alright, well, that's all I have for now. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to hit the like button. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing. Feel free to leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Share the video. Any interaction you have with the video helps to cause YouTube to recommend it to other people. So your support of the channel is appreciated. Thanks again. Bye for now.
The greatest adventure is what